obviously the $1,000,000 question is, what can we do to prevent this? What can we do to prevent and identify spam attacks?
Right. Yeah, Neil, think about it. Spam's been around for some time, and I think it's always evolving. But so are the bad actors. They're evolving too to try to get around that. And I would say the very first thing to start with is having a good email service, a good platform. If you're on, and especially a small business, Google has made a lot of stride in that space where they kind of target small business with Google Mail for Business. GoDaddy also has it. Microsoft has it. They have good spam detection. So I would say that would be the first to start with. And then if you're using a client, an email client like Outlook, then you want to have something that plugs into Outlook as just another precaution. Most of the antivirus have plugins. I know from my own experience, Mac, Outlook for Mac doesn't, and getting a third party to plug in there is always advised. I would say these are probably the two most important things. And then the third really is, don't be in a rush to open the mail. Look for the signs of opening a suspicious email that you might think is, if it looks a little off, you should go with your gut and say, you know what, as you said, Neil, you contacted your friend to make sure that, hey, did you really send this? And
right.
I think if you look at these steps and those examples above, you'll notice there are some telltale signs to be able to catch this. And I would say one other one to put in there is really backups. It's really important to have backups of your system, because if you do get hit with ransomware or something like that, you can always revert back to your last backup. So it's always a good practice to have backups, and there's maybe that's another discussion to have at some point. But it's
absolutely, yep,
yeah,
absolutely. I think I think those are excellent points, and I like the last one on the slide especially, because I think that's a major, to me at least, the goal of Find Me Cyber. One of the major goals is really to help people just be aware of the fact that we live in a very convenient world where we get emails, every 20 seconds, every second maybe, and it's important sometimes to slow down and recognize, not all the emails we get are legitimate. There's not always a good actor on the other side saying that email, and like you said, it's important to verify these things, and having, like you also said, having a legitimate email service and not using something that is unfamiliar. These are tips that I think are very practical that small business owners should really look into if they're not already doing. So this is fantastic, Scott. Excellent overview, and I think these are very practical tips.